Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Whitaker. Today I'm here with Lexi Love. I just have to say her full name because it's hella cute. Yes, it's on her birth certificate. Her last name is literally Love. Go check out her Instagram. All of her stuff will be down below. She's modeling for me today. Today's video, I should probably get to the point of it, is 3 ways to make your photos look editorial, a little bit more high fashion, step up your photography game. So I'm going to just show you 3 quick tips. View the full set of images down below on my website. Subscribe for more photography videos. Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video again and for making this happen. You guys, I have my website on Squarespace. My Build and Bloom business site is through Squarespace, and I love it because it's an all-in-one platform. You can have your domain, your website, as well as an online store. So if you sell product, even digital product, I sell my presets on my online store with Squarespace, and it's super easy. They have 24/7 customer support that's actually award-winning and beautiful designer templates. So you guys can head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, you can go to squarespace.com/Jessica Whitaker to get 10% off of your first purchase of a website or a domain. And let's get started. My first tip for you guys is all about framing. I think it's super important and is a way that you could really make your photos look very polished. Even if other people don't really notice exactly what it is about your photos that are different, you know it's about the framing. So we chose the tennis court intentionally because there is like all the lines, the grid, geometry is my passion. Lexi, I'm gonna have you sit down right in this puddle. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have you sit right here. So I'm gonna have you scoot forward a little bit more. So basically I want her to be in the center of this kitty corner. So scoot forward a little bit more. Yeah, okay, there we go. So you guys, I have the corner of this little kitty corner all the way in my frame, and then I have her head just brushing right underneath this line right here that divides the green from the blue. I'll show you guys on the screen so you can kind of see. That looks a lot better than if I were to take it like this. Okay, it still looks good because Lexi's like really pretty, but this just looks a lot more, later when I go to crop it, it looks a lot more detail oriented than something like this. This looks a little, it's not sloppy, but I feel like if I saw this on my feed, I'd be like, ooh, mathematics. What if I have you standing right here in between this line?
Okay.
We'll do something more
like in between the one like that? Or in between the like that?
Yeah, just like that. So then I have her framed where this is splitting right between her feet. Fence, there's 2 poles that are right at her side. So it just frames her really nicely. And then later, as I'm gonna show on the screen in a couple seconds, it's like leading lines. It just brings the attention straight to her, to the subject. It just looks really nice. So just give it a go. The reason why I chose the tennis court is just so it's super obvious, but there's so many other ways you can frame in nature. I love to like have, if there's a big tree and there's a branch that's kind of curved, like an archway, I might have my model right underneath it, or I might have their hands up, kind of duplicates the curve almost. So those are other ways you can do it that aren't as obvious, but for the purpose of this video, those are 2 ways that you can do framing. All right, so my next tip is all about the angles. As our good friend Drake says, know your angles, know yourself. A way that I personally think and have noticed with some editorial photography is if you shoot from a lower angle, you're able to really cut out a lot of the kind of the floor in the background and put all the focus on the model, because then she's more elevated and you just see the sky or something else, and the attention just goes all on her. And it also is just a more editorial angle, I found. If you ever look through Vogue, you know how it be, you might see my work in there, and you'll see that there's somewhere it's like really direct sunlight portraits and it's taken from a low angle. What I also like about this angle is that it kind of is a little bit more like powerful, because the subject can kind of almost lean into the image and look like they're taking over the frame, which obviously I guess that they already are because they're the only one in the shot. But this will just look a lot more Vogue? I don't know. So I've just noticed that a lot, and a lot of my friends who shoot more editorial fashion kind of photography, I've noticed that they do this. I've done it on a couple of recent shoots, and I definitely think it kind of can take your image to the next level. I'm just going to show you guys what to do and then what not to do. You can obviously always change these, but this is just to get my point across. It's super pretty. And then I'm going to do one not to do. But as you guys can see in these shots, where you don't get as much of the floor or the ground in it, and the focus is mostly on the subject, whereas this, it's just a little bit of a different perspective. There's more distractions. Not that this is bad. This is still very pretty, but this is just a way to make it more editorial. I'll also show you guys standing up. Let's do one where I'm gonna have you kind of like, almost like reaching out and then put your, let's do your right leg back a little bit. Yep, and then put all your weight on that leg and then really kind of like, yep, and have one hand above your head and then the other one above your head too. Okay. And then really like tilt your head with the weight of your hip, if that makes sense. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so here's one way. And actually maybe bring that leg back even further. When you feel that stretch in the hamstring, you know it's the pose. Perfect. Okay, and then tilt, yep, beautiful. So something lower like this.
Oh, hairs and face.
So as you guys can see here and on the screen, this photo where it's taken from a lower angle just puts more attention on her in my opinion than something like this. Again, you just get a ton of the ground and it's a little bit more distracting. Okay, so for my last tip, it is all about that direct sunlight though. I feel like putting your subject in the direct, beaming, harsh sunlight of the Sahara Desert will really add that editorial vibe. I just think it looks so great, and so I'm just gonna do some close-up portraits of Lexi. And also, can we just like admire her highlight, her makeup?
True.
Just like get a good zoom in.
What?
Show them what they
Look
want
at
to
this.
see. This is the content.
This
With
is
her
what the
green
viewers
eyes, I'm
want.
dying. So pretty. This is also like more of a beauty shot, if you will. I think that's what kind of makes it more editorial because it is so close up with the makeup. I'm gonna shoot on 2.5. Okay, perfect. And then if you combine this with the low angle trick, y'all, you ready for Vogue, really.